Hello and welcome. I call the channel the Jungle Nook, and we're going to be working in this area right here today. There's a few different things I want to try to get accomplished, but the main thing is I want to start working in this big community pot here. It's actually a 270 gallon outdoor pond liner that I filled with a multi-layered substrate. I want to make up a bunch of moss poles today and start doing some planting in here. The big thing we'll be doing is propagating this elbow monstera right here. What I did is I put some rooting powder right on the soil, and as I water it, the plant should be absorbing that. What rooting powder actually is a hormone that will tell the plant it needs to activate its immune system. Normally you would make a cutting and dip the cutting into the rooting powder and then just plant that, but I don't know how long that takes for it to actually start to take effect. So about a week ago I put that in the soil, and every time I water it, hopefully it's getting that hormone and the plant's all ramped up to protect itself from any pathogens or diseases or anything it could get. This is my rarest plant. It's also one of my favorite plants, and I'm hoping to be able to propagate this. It's on a moss pole that I'm able to keep moist. I just add water right here at the top, and the whole thing's nice and moist. And everywhere where a leaf comes out, that's a node. Everywhere that a leaf comes out, a aerial root will form. And I'm hoping that these aerial roots have water roots. I'm going to make a few cuttings on this. Actually, we're going to make the cuttings down here. I just took some saran wrap and some moist sphagnum moss and wrapped it around an aerial root that was not in contact with the moss. I'm hoping we can make some cuts, where these are, and plant them. What I'm going to be doing is putting 3 moss poles right where these plants right here are. I'm going to be putting 3 moss poles in this big pot, one in the back and then have 2 more in the front. And I want to take those 2 cuttings and plant them right now on the moss pole and give it about a month or so it can start to grow a new vine. And then I'll do the same thing with the moss poles in front of it, because I want the one in the back to be growing first so that it's taller. Now, over here's another plant that I want to put a moss pole on as well. This plant's already in its spot, and these leaves will get really big on a moss pole. And then I got this, what's this? I think this is a neon pothos. And the vines have grown all the way down and are actually in the soil down here and have roots. And I'm going to be trimming this plant up, and those nodes down there that have roots already, I'll be planting them up in the pot so that it will be more lush and fuller. A bunch of leaves and stuff need to get cleaned. And over here, I want to get rid of this moss pole back here. And this is the moss pole we'll be using on the plant I just showed you. I'm going to pull all this vine out of here and remove these plants off of this table here. Put different plants on there. Want to clean all these leaves up. And also, I want to do a little bit of work in this fish tank back here. I have a new fish we'll be putting in there today. For the moss pole, we're going to be using some of this long fibered sphagnum moss. I'm going to put it into some pails, fill it with water, let it soak, and we'll be filling up these right here. This is garden fencing. It's just metal fencing with a plastic coating. I'm just going to cut everything down to size, fill it with the moss. I'll use zip ties to hold it together. And I got some stakes here. I'll be zip tying the moss poles right to the stakes into that big pot. So it's kind of compacted, this moss, a little bit. So I'm just breaking it up a little bit. Adding some water. I'll let this sit out here for probably a good 20 minutes or so it can absorb the water. And then I'm going to put a rock on top of it because the stuff floats. I'm just cutting it down to size. Now I'm just filling this up, and I'm not squeezing this or compressing it. So I want it to stay kind of fluffy, kind of airy. I also want enough in there. I got enough, I think, to make 3 moss poles plus a little extension to put at the top of the pole with the elbow monstera. And when you water these poles, you can also fertilize them as well. When you're doing your fertilizing, you can fertilize this because all the roots are right in here. Then I just take a zip tie. Can hear all my neighbors. There's lawnmowers, leaf blowers, chainsaws. I've been trying to get out here when it's not too loud. This is as quiet as it's been. As soon as I had started earlier, I filled these buckets up with water and was letting them soak, and it got real noisy here. It's not too bad right now. Now, with these zip ties, after I cut them, I spin that so that the sharp edge isn't sticking out and maybe damage a leaf or something. So that's it. That will go in there. I have these stakes. I'll put a stake in there as well. I'll put a stake in and then zip tie this right to the stake. So I'm going to do 3 of them. Also got this little extension piece I want to put on top of that other pole. So there we go. The longer one's going to be in the back with these 2 in front of it. Got the stakes, and there's the little extension piece